We are in Loudoun County tonight for a pivotal six-pointer in the Eastern Conference. A Loudoun side desperate to get back to winning ways against a Birmingham squad that has only recently regrouped themselves. You are watching USL Championship on ESPN+. We say hello and welcome here from Segra Field alongside Ross Davenport. I'm Sam Goldfarb. Let's jump right into Loudoun, a side that was built to be a DC United reserve squad, and they've never made the playoffs as a result. But last year, an ownership change allowing them more roster flexibility, and now they've decided to blend youth and experience, finding themselves in contention much more. These three players part of this recent Loudoun turnaround. You look at Zach Ryan and Khalil El-Medkar, two players in their second seasons with the club. Meanwhile, Florian Velo, the established veteran they brought in this year to anchor the midfield. And Ross, despite being in the postseason hunt, they've run into a recent lull. Winless in their last three and no goals in the last 336 minutes.
Yeah, they were awfully banged up earlier this season. Made it a little difficult to acclimatize the new players. Got healthy over the summer, went on that 8-game unbeaten run to jump above the playoff line, now below it again. 2 wins over Tampa Bay lately, but listen, some of their other wins came over Miami, Hartford, Orange County. Could really use a home win tonight with 5 of their 7 final games away from home.
You can say that again, partner. Loudoun right now a point below the playoff cut line. Meanwhile, Birmingham, after the win over Tampa, they've got a little bit of a cushion, but either way, this is a colossal six-pointer any way you slice it. On the other side of things for Birmingham, they've only recently regrouped. The victory over Tampa pulling them comfortably above the playoff line for the time being.
Yeah, it was a monster one midweek. Been an up-and-down season. They've only put together back-to-back wins once this year. That was back in June against Detroit, San Antonio. But since then, 12 games, 4 wins, 6 losses, 4 draws. That win against Tampa ended that 3-game losing streak, and they had no goals scored.
This Birmingham side has brought in a lot of established veterans, and Tyler Pasher, a familiar boogeyman for Loudoun.
Yeah, the 30-year-old from Canada. He had the winner in the previous meeting between these two teams way back in early April. He just went over 200 combined appearances between USL Championship and MLS. Came back to the lineup midweek versus Tampa after missing 7 of the previous 9. Injured. Look for his connection down the right side tonight with Derek Dodson that caused problems for Loudoun all night.
Well, we are just about set for kickoff between Loudoun and Birmingham in a huge six-pointer in the Eastern Conference. Will Loudoun jump back above the playoff line, or will Birmingham consolidate their playoff positioning? Find out next on ESPN+.
DC News Now, bigger and only getting better.
Join us as we welcome Susan Tran to the DC News Now team.
Decades of journalism experience, a steadfast commitment to community, and an energy we can't wait for.
Susan Tran joins DC News Now, super serving the DMV with Susan Tran at the anchor desk.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro. Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
DC News Now is only getting bigger.
We're taking over the DMV with a regional approach to news that fits your needs better than anyone else.
With multi-state traffic patterns, we're giving you a narration that really helps you get around.
Giving you a larger scope of the area so you're better informed of incoming weather. Because if it's raining in Chantilly, it's probably not raining in Bethesda. Yet.
DC News Now.
The station in the know, in the community.
And covering more ground than anyone in the DMV.
We welcome you back from Loudoun County, a flyover here at Segra Field ahead of this major Eastern Conference clash between a pair of playoff hopefuls. Loudoun United hosting Birmingham Legion from Leesburg, Virginia tonight. Let's jump right into the lineups here. Ross, looking at Loudoun, only one change, but no Khalil El-Medkar in the 11 tonight.
Yeah, Ryan Martin with that one change, as you mentioned. He tries to shake up his struggling offense a bit. Go more of a 3-5-2 in possession. 22-year-old Canadian Isaiah Johnson, he gets only his 4th start of the season. Khalil El-Medkar, as you mentioned, we'll probably see him off the bench in the second half. Expect Florian Below to play more of a free role behind those two forwards.
Flipping the page to Birmingham. Tom Sohn, no changes from the 2-0 victory against Tampa at the midweek. Keep your eye on Stefano Pino leading the line.
He gave up 20 shots in that game midweek, but still came away with the clean sheet. Pino scored the opener Wednesday. Continues to show he can still bang them in on a consistent basis. Enzo Martinez, the beard, makes his 52nd straight start tonight for the region.
He is the all-league second-teamer that anchors this midfield for Birmingham. It is Loudoun looking to regroup. It is Birmingham hoping to continue its surge up the east. And we are underway here from Segra Fields. Sam Goldfarb and Ross Davenport bringing you all of the action tonight in a clash that could redefine how the East looks by the end of the evening.
Things are super tight in there. One win could vault you up 3 or 4 spots in those standings. See if we can get you close to a home quarterfinal.
For Birmingham, that is well within striking distance. For Loudoun, it's one match at a time here more. Tingy driving this forward. And was looking for the rapid start. As Martinez struggling to usher clear. And already a loose challenge right on the edge of the area.
Goes down, referee shook it off as though there was no contact. Listen, either it's a foul or it's simulation. Referee not giving either here in the first minute. Erlinson still on the ground. They're going to have to stop play because of that.
It is the 25-year-old former Columbus crewman, Jacob Erlinson. He's been a mainstay in the lineup.
He's clearly stepped on there. Cole. Johnson, the clumsiness. Certainly got their second best. So back on his feet now, not limping too heavily.
Our referee tonight, Muhammad Hassan, leading all of the action from Segra Field. Well, Ross, we've hit on the implications of this fixture. It's a Loudoun side that historically has struggled with Birmingham. Just one win in their previous 7 meetings, and it was a 3-1 defeat in Birmingham in April.
Yeah, it's hard to look back at some history in the USL Championship. These teams change so much year after year, especially with the injuries Loudoun was dealing with earlier this season. They've gone in spurts. They had the slow start, and they got off to that nice little run earlier in the summer. Now struggling again, been up and down above that playoff line over the last few weeks. And 3 points here tonight at home would be huge. As we mentioned in the pregame, 5 of the last 7 games away from home and against some tough opposition.
It has been a year of oscillation, but when you look at Loudoun's history, we touched on it off the top, a side that has never really been in playoff contention at this point in the year. So it is unfamiliar territory, and Ryan Martin has said the biggest emphasis is on making history. That's been the primary talking point these last few months and since the preseason with his lads.
We talked about a couple of weeks ago when we did the Phoenix game about how the fans are really getting into the season now with the team finally having some success. You can hear the band behind this goal now. Careful.
Matt Van Oekel got himself into trouble, and there's a question over whether he handled that outside the box.
He just brought it back in. It was a clumsy looking second of play, but I think he was okay. He just brought it back in, passed it back to himself.
Early on already.
Certainly not the kind of moment you want to be having as a keeper.
Already some controversy.
In the first 3 minutes. He's again involved, Van Oekel, the veteran. Take another look at it here. Always played through. Van Oekel was under pressure, didn't realize how much pressure. It was right on the line. Referee Mohamed Hassan having to make a couple of real big decisions here early. Both gone the way of Birmingham.
Van Oekel, the experienced goalkeeper, not usually finding himself in those type of situations. He's much better at navigating those than most.
As a goalkeeper myself, you want to get your hands on the ball early, but not like that.
On the other side of things, there's your look at Hugo Farou, the Frenchman who has really raised his level this season for Loudoun.
I talked to Ryan Martin, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Farou, the consistency has been there this year. It took a little while to get going. One of the best shot stoppers in the league.
first foray into the attacking third for Birmingham. Side that has begun to pick up its goal output, just navigating through a recent goal drought. A deflected cross coming in that time, and routine in the end for Faroux. It is a star-studded Birmingham midfield. You look at all of the established USL Championship veterans, be it Tyler Pasher, Enzo Martinez, or of course Stefano Pino up front. 3 players they brought in over the last 4 or 5 years who have all hit the ground running and been key parts of the club.
Tyler Pasher on that right side going to be key. Kobe Hernandez Foster, great strike midweek in that Tampa Bay win. Foul here.
Early stages of this one, Loudoun and Birmingham, second and final clash here in the 2024 USL Championship season. Considerable amount on the line tonight for playoff aspirations. Here's Velo. He loses out, and it falls to Diba Nwegbo, former William and Mary man in his second professional campaign.
Some hardest shouts for handball there, Velo. Sliding Arthur Patterson, stopping his purpose, as you see. A 3-4-3 normally for Loudoun, but with that move tonight to bring in Isaiah Johnson and frees Velo up to Loudoun behind the front 2 instead. He's normally out on the right-hand side. You see it already, trying to get things going in the middle.
We mentioned Loudoun looking a lot different in possession than perhaps the team sheet shows.
Yeah, any team with this wing-back system, they're going to drop those 5 back if they have to. With Loudoun, it's more of a 4. As you can see here, when they're on that left side, the left wing-back will drop back and reverse when they're on the right back, on the right side of the field.
Here's Ryan, his first proper touch of the match, one of the top scorers in the USL Championship.
Giving that different look as well with Wesley Leggett. He can play left side, right side of Zach Ryan is on the right at the moment. You may see him float around a bit as well. His pace, always a concern for any back line.
Very young too. He goes through his highs and lows, says Ryan Martin. At the end of the day, a world of talent at his feet. Tingy. Negotiating his way inside.
Ryan Martin mentioned midweek. Tingy as being a guy that's really stepped up this season at the right wing back spot. Loves to get involved in the penalty box too, as he did there.
Well, when we spoke to Ryan Martin, he mentioned the importance of repressing after losing possession. How have you assessed that so far from Loudoun?
Looking good so far here. Pressing's a difficult thing, right? As the temperatures get a little cooler, press a little more. You want to certainly do it early, try and force a mistake, as they almost did from Van Oekel.
Johnston wins it back here. It is a Loudoun side heavily predicated on its possession, as is Birmingham, though. You'd fancy them to be a little more assertive at home tonight.
Interesting to see where the front 2 tonight is more than the front 3, which they're normally using if they press quite as much. Velo is certainly pushing up a little more on that left side than we expected them to.
Here is Martinez, talisman in midfield for Birmingham tonight. Nwegbo, led well by Velo, who may have been trod upon after the fact. McCartney. Some excellent link up here. Hernandez Foster stood up well by Tingy, who's been an involved figure early on.
Ryan tracking back there to help out, get things going the other way. Certainly does look like Loudoun in more of their traditional 3-4-3, just Velo and Leggett switching sides tonight.
Here's Velo. And experienced veteran of this league. Awuwa, early cross. He was hunting Ryan. Velo's follow-up is a souvenir for the fans. But not a bad early break from Loudoun.
Please, Ryan Martin. Please, Ryan Martin there. Link forward, Velo. Left-footed shot. Right over the bar of Van Oku.
Long ball forward for Nwegbo. Keeper off his line in Faru. Cleared only as far as the Campbell man, former Campbell man, Moses Mensah. An aggressive switch of the play. There are numbers forward for Birmingham here. Martinez. It's one back by Patcher. 10 minutes gone, early ebbs and flows from both sides. Still have yet to see our first proper clear-cut opportunity. Velo winning it back, has some support. Awuwa. Cross was deflected. Ultimately read well by Kronyale. Johnston. Learman venturing forward. Ball out to Tingy was just off the mark.
Bit of spell of possession there from Loudoun. Pull those Birmingham defenders out of position. What a win that was midweek for Birmingham. It sort of gives them a free shot here getting those 3 points, but everything is so tight in that Eastern Conference. Gotta keep picking up points to stay in the mix.
They had a goal drought that nearly eclipsed the 350-minute threshold. It was 3 straight defeats. That win really can't be overstated, especially when talking to Tom Sohn this week. He said the 11-day layoff helped them regroup. Said his side needed to come together a lot better, and he felt that the performance was far more comprehensive than the ones leading into the layoff. It was a colossal result against a Tampa side that is comfortably in the playoff places at the minute.
You know, you have those buys, coaches look at them different ways. If you're playing really well, it's the last thing you want is a week off. If you're not playing well, get those days to regroup, train and focus on what you want to focus on.
Well, there is your look at Ryan Martin, dressed to impress tonight, the Loudoun headman.
Combo, jacket and the baseball cap, I like it.
I was going to ask you how you felt about that.
Listen, I'm a man who doesn't even own a jacket, so I appreciate the man that can wear it out there. It's not too hot there tonight.
He's been a veteran of both the DC United Academy system and now in his 6th season at the helm of this Loudoun club. And he's definitely benefited from the flexibility the ownership change has allowed him in terms of roster building. It's been a movement of established veterans entering the side these last couple of years.
I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when you and I spoke to him that they didn't really have to recruit some of these veteran players. They wanted to come play for him because of the system he plays. Listen, as a coach, that's the best thing in the world, right? When you got guys coming to you and you have to pick and choose who you take.
It was a turbulent first year. Of course, took the job about 2 months into Loudoun's inaugural USL Championship campaign. A side that never was able to regroup from that, but as we mentioned, this year it's a little different. They are standing on the precipice of history for this club. But results in 6-pointers like this will define whether they can ultimately break the glass ceiling that is the playoff chase.
As you mentioned earlier, it's great for the fans. You never want to be that team that's the whipping boys of the league. You want to come in every time into the stadium expecting to be competitive, and that's exactly what they've done this year. There are ups and downs, as you mentioned, Sam, but still in with a great chance of making the postseason.
And as Foster loses out. Long back here. Pino. Some support here on the near flank from Nuegbo. Flashing cross, back post. He narrowly evaded the star man up front for Birmingham. Stefano Pino, the top scorer for Legion with 7 goals on the year. It's a side where goals have come and gone. It's not the most reliable goal-scoring Birmingham side compared to past years, but also Enzo Martinez's production hasn't been at the level of his first 2 campaigns with the club.
Oh
my word! Goalkeeper was off his line and paid the price. From midfield, Birmingham in front.
Just as we were talking about the consistency of Hugo Farou. 55 yards plus. Farou was hanging out in his penalty area. My, oh my.
Ross, that's what we call audacious.
You see where he was in the right position was Hugo Farou. You just don't expect. Was it Alex Croniale from the back line?
That it was.
That's the last thing as a keeper is you expect a center back to try and lob you from 55 yards. That's exactly what happened.
The 30-year-old former Columbus crewman, Alex Croniale, opening the scoring with a potential goal of the season contender.
It took you and I aback, as I'm sure it did Hugo Farou. Perhaps if the center midfielder gets his feet on the ball in the center circle, you've got to backpedal a little bit. Hugo Farou completely caught unawares by that superb strike by Alex Croniale.
You said it best, partner. Everyone in the stadium taken aback. The stadium just went silent with shock. And just like that, Croniale giving Birmingham the early advantage with one of the stunning goals you'll see all week.
You should ask Tom Sohn if that's one of those things he'd seen on tape. Told his guys, hey, if you're around the halfway line, take a look and see where Farou is and have a go if you can.
Tingy, a sharp cross, far more routine for Van Oekel this time. Alex Croniale, the man in his 8th professional season, spent a good chunk of that professional career with Columbus Crew, his boyhood club. He was in the Crew Academy, went to Maryland, and then signed on a homegrown deal with the Crew. He's been a member of the USL ranks since the late stages of the 2010s. He's played for Indy 11, a few other clubs. At Birmingham, he's found a recent home. And what a stunning strike that was for just his 2nd goal of the year.
I'd also love to know what was going through Tom Crone's head when he hit that. It's one of those things where if it doesn't come off as a coach, you say, what are you doing? And when it does come off, I knew all along. Wow.
Jaw-dropping moment from a Birmingham side that opened the match on the back foot for considerable spells. Johnston, an aggressive ball forward to Awua. Loudoun forced to chase. Looking for Ryan in the area. Dealt with unconvincingly.
It's been a good positive reaction from Loudoun. He did go a lot like that at home. This could go down for a bit, but still plenty of time left in this game. Sam.
Just joining us, approaching the 20-minute mark, alongside Ross Davenport, Sam Goldfarb, bringing you all of the action tonight. Alex Croniale's 15th minute wonder goal making the difference. One which shocked the entire stadium. Johnston is bundled over, and the early yellow shown to Martinez.
Getting in the face of the referee. I'm sure he doesn't want to pick up a yellow card this early. A man that plays like you can see Martinez just clip the heel. The way he plays, Enzo certainly didn't want to pick up a yellow card this early because he plays on the edge. It's good work by Johnston, though.
This is just what the doctor ordered for Loudoun. They've not had many clear-cut chances at goal just yet.
This is an awkward spot for a free kick, though. Central, just far enough out unless he's unlikely to have a crack. Enzo Martinez still talking to the referee.
A yellow card is issued in the
He's got to be cautious, Ross.
Enzo, cautious probably isn't the word we associate with Enzo Martinez. He's got to think twice now about any rash challenges the rest of the way.
Awuah. Cross comes in, headed across goal. Ryan had a touch, and Tingy may have also lashed at it. Still not dealt with. And finally comes free to Dawson McCartney. Heart and throat moments, though, for Birmingham's defense. Learman finally stabbed away to safety. Tingy. Learman surging forward. It's clever from Ryan. Doesn't quite come off. Tingy once again. Continuing to twist the screws. So far, Birmingham looking relatively organized out of possession.
So Martinez now pressing a little bit, trying to force the turnover. French pass. Not looking comfortable here, though. Staying strong defensively.
It's one back. Potential numbers for Birmingham here. Wegbo cutting inside. Flex towards Tyler Pasher. Birmingham can regroup.
So it's going to take a special effort to score from there, but I think he knew he didn't have a ton of support. Now that number's flooding back.
This is Kwame Awuah. He's hunting the run of Leggett. It's a very well-weighted ball. Shrugged off it by Mensah. Cleared only as far as Learman, though. Awuah again. Some numbers in the box for Loudoun. Learman. This is Leggett, one of the stars on this Loudoun side. Looking towards the back stick and out of play for the match's first corner. Fans, this is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. Tommy McCabe to take for the Pegasus.
This is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick. Loudoun United.
Crucial moment here for Loudoun. Very few clear-cut set pieces so far. Taken short to Awuah. Below. Awuah, a volleyed cross, and one that goes out of play.
On DC News Now with Derek Forrest, Brandy Flores, Alex Flum, and Jake Rom. Game Night, the only 7-day-a-week sports show tonight at 11 on DC News Now.
We welcome you back to Seger Fields, where Birmingham Legion holds a 1-0 lead courtesy of Alex Croniale's 15th minute wonder strike from 55 yards. Sam Goldfarb and Ross Davenport bringing you all of the action from Leesburg, Virginia. Ross, other than perhaps the outlying moment, it has been a cagey affair.
Yeah, it's been a very crisp affair that both teams knocking it around as we knew they would with a good effectiveness. There's no real clear-cut chances. I mean, you can't call the goal a chance either, really. Neither keeper forced into too much work. There's a chance, perhaps.
Comes through to Ryan. And now Awuah with numbers in support. Driving from afar, and it was not far off. McCabe having a crack.
Both teams coming out here tonight, looking to get things done in the final third. Hasn't been quite that clinicality yet. That was a good strike. Van Ogle had it covered the whole way though. Tommy McCabe, another guy we talked to this week with Ryan Martin about. Really the engine of this team. Really wanted to bring him in, got it done.
Just 26 years of age, but someone who has plenty of USL Championship experience under his belt. Of course, best known for the key role he played with Orange County 3 years ago in their title run.
He said he thinks about the game so well, he thinks he could have a long career as a manager after this, perhaps.
All breaks right. He'll have a long career in this league as well. One back by Martinez. Pasher. Floating it wide for Nwegbo. Beyond the midway point of this first half. And you said it best, crisp, with the exception of perhaps one of the weirdest goals you'll see all day. And look at the XG. Birmingham 0, but the only thing that matters is the goal on the scoreboard.
A family member of Alex Chinali wasn't watching this game, but has seen he scored there, plays, oh, great header. Not quite.
It'll be a goal that lives in his personal Hall of Fame for quite some time. It's very rare that you have a 0 flat XG. I'm sure that's a .001 number, but it's been a weird game.
Listen, you can't really put too much fault on Hugo Farouk because he was where he was supposed to be.
This is a cleverly weighted ball to Pino. And this time, Farouk reads it very well. Tingy hunting the run of Leggett. Excellent adjustment by the former Charleston man, A.J. Patterson.
Both teams certainly playing this game as though there's 6 points on the line, as you talked about in the pregame, Sam. Things are so tight in that Eastern Conference.
If all breaks right tonight, if Loudoun were to turn this around and win, they'd find themselves in the top 8 by the end of the evening. And there are a few 6-pointers left on the docket that I'm sure we'll get deeper into as this match progresses, but it will certainly be an entertaining final month of the regular season. Word that Detroit City has scored against New Mexico. Remember, New Mexico entered with the potential to clinch a playoff berth tonight. If they are to fall to Detroit, things get a little more complex, at least as far as this match week is concerned.
Penalty there from Maxi Rodriguez. Talking about wanting to get back on the score sheet, it's been a while.
Tingy didn't quite read the run well enough from Leggett.
Just delayed that pass half a second too long.
Nwegbo off to the races. Outwits Johnston. A very mazy run, one which does not move the lead official in any way, shape, or form. Mensah is the man fouled.
Wagner just ended up falling over his own feet. Unfortunately, Wesley Leggett did the same thing there and then ended up taking down Mensah, who's pushing that right leg with some pain.
And who's broken into the 11 this year as a mainstay at left back. The last sight you want to see if you're a Birmingham supporter, someone who's been so steady, doesn't always bomb forward, but is an industrious member of this squad.
That's the last thing you expect to happen, is have somebody roll over the back of your ankle when you're tracking back and you maybe get clipped. It's Enzo Martinez, always pleading his case. the mayor of this team.
He and Muhammad Hassan have had an animated dialogue tonight.
Just to put it mildly.
We'll call it civil.
Yeah, as a referee, you want to set your standards early, but you also want to set the standards that you don't want to get talked to too often, because then other people start talking. We've seen it go a little bit out of soccer of late, especially at the top leagues, just talking back to the referees, which I like. I don't mind a bit of conversation, as long as it's kept positive.
Remember, especially in the Euros, there was a rule: if you're not the captain, you can't speak to the ref. Of course, this doesn't apply in this case with Martinez donning the armband tonight. But he's already on a yellow.
It was getting a little ridiculous at times with players circling the referee. I'm glad that's gone out of the game. He's having a chat with his manager.
Well, Ross, let's flash back to the moment that separates these two sides. Alex Croniale scoring one of the craziest goals you'll see in the league this year.
See, he definitely meant it. He looked, I mean, I think he meant it.
It appears he did.
Nwegbo was in the vicinity. Hugo Faru was just sort of backpedaling and then didn't even try to tap it over the bar. Unfortunately, he wants to go in the back of his own net. Alex Croniale definitely claimed that he meant it.
Faru was off his line. It was audacious, but paid dividends for it. And despite having an XG that sits just a narrow touch above 0 flat, Birmingham in the lead. Now, granted, Loudoun has not done much to help their case. Very little creation so far in their attacking third just yet. Johnston. A heavy touch from Leggett. Now falls to Dawson McCartney, who stood up by Tingy, excessively, says the official.
It's one of those tough fouls we see get called, because Keegan Tingy was in position. He was just standing there. There's certainly a bit more of a shove to it than if he perhaps just maybe taken the charge. Sort of similar penalty in our game earlier today. Sam between Chelsea and Bournemouth, where the goalkeeper just stood his ground and the player ran into him and they gave the penalty. We know what happened after that. We don't need to mention it. So
it's very rare you'll find a Bournemouth supporter against that decision.
No, I didn't think it was a penalty in the first place. It was one of those kicks where you kind of knew when he was walking up to take it that he was going to save it. It happens a lot in soccer, the pro soccer. The guy has the position in the ground and gets run into and gets called for the foul more often than not.
That delivery was lacking. It didn't even escape the first defender in below. That match had a similar tenor to this one, except there was no early goal from 55 yards. So, Ross, we've had a half hour to digest what's transpired. How do you assess how Loudoun's attempted to break down Birmingham's back line?
They're obviously still waiting for their first shot on goal, but they've looked semi-dangerous when they do get into that final third. Ryan Martin won't be panicking just yet, because I've obviously have Khalil Al-Mekhdar on the bench as a potential offensive option later, should he choose to go to him.
It's a goal drought that is rapidly nearing 370 minutes. They've not scored since the 2-0 victory over Tampa Bay on August 17th.
Yeah, sometimes when you get these goal droughts, you do try a little too hard. I don't think Loudoun are doing that tonight. They've still been knocking it around. They're not sticking with what they're good at, knocking it around.
Seen Zach Ryan get into some promising positions, but he's been crowded by a slew of black kits whenever he's remotely close to any cross. It's been a period of frustration for him, especially since scoring that dagger against Tampa. We spoke to Ryan Martin. He's mentioned he's young and still learning to navigate through those turbulent periods, but when the goals come, they come in waves. This is one back upfield by Pino. Proven goal scorer in his own right. Nwegbo arcing towards the back post. Stood up just in time before it could reach the oncoming man on the far side. Faru didn't properly deal with that.
One thing coaches have learned over the years is that you tend to find more about your team in the times of struggle. See a lot of new members of this Loudoun squad, and they've had their moments this year. It's the injuries early, and they came out of that okay. The goal scoring has dried up a little bit. outright win tonight would certainly get them back, go in the right direction.
Here's Pasher, still looking to influence this one for Birmingham. The former Indy 11 man who has made goal scoring in the USL Championship a regular hobby. Flip to Mensah, who seems very content to continue after his earlier knock. Snuffed out by McCabe. Awuwa, key cog in the build-up machine for Loudoun.
Ryan Barney's going to want his team to move things a little quicker. It's just been a bit pedestrian here. They were moving it quickly in the first 10 to 15 minutes, but things have slowed down.
Pino is dragged back. It has lacked the quick burst you would expect. The yellow shown to what appears to be Keegan Hughes.
Amount of contact there. I'm not sure it deserved a yellow card unless we didn't see something on the blind side there. Perhaps a jersey pull.
First Loudoun man in the book tonight. It's Keegan Hughes, the 24-year-old center back. Looking long for McCartney. It's a loose back pass through just winning that foot race.
Confirmation of the yellow card to Keegan Hughes, something we saw far too many of in our game earlier between our two teams. Is it
14, I believe, yes. Hopefully we don't get up that high tonight. It seems like there's been a high threshold for yellows, with the exception of that one, of course.
It's one of those things, as we mentioned earlier, so setting your standard early as a referee, what is a yellow card and what isn't. Unfortunately, once you give an early one, you have to stick with it. Is that being your line? It's a bit of a mess earlier.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Ryan is breaking forward, clatters it into this thicket of black shirts. Nearly fell for Johnston. Stabbed away only as far as Erlinson.
Time we've seen a bit of chaos inside the Birmingham box for a while. Loudoun the ball's just not bouncing their way yet tonight. And there's another one, Sam. You can see Dawson McCartney saying, I was there first, had position, and the player ran into me. Take a look at it here. Just, he came off best. So leg went down a little easier. Now a chance here, certainly for a strike.
This is well within striking distance. Perhaps the threshold for fouls has lowered. Van Okel's first proper test in quite some time, it seems. Is Awuwa and Zach Ryan standing over it. You know number 14 in white always loves to have a pop.
It's a little central. You have to do something special to beat Van Okel from here.
Awuwa has a hit, and it never properly dipped.
Get over the wall. Just lean back a little bit. Van Okel still yet to make his first save of the night.
Your all-access pass to the latest forecast from Janessa Webb, Jackie Layer, Damon Matson, Scott Sumner, and Brittany Ward. All across the DMV. DC News Now weather.
Partner, we welcome you back in to Segra Field. Sam Goldfarb and Ross Davenport bringing you all of the action in this crucial Eastern Conference six-pointer between Loudoun United and Birmingham Legion. The lone goal scored by Alex Croniale, a stunner from 55 yards. And since then, an aura of caginess has encapsulated this fixture. Partner, we are dangerously close to reaching the third straight Loudoun United half without a shot on target.
Yeah, it's been disappointing. Birmingham only have the one. Loudoun have been credited now with a shot on target. So one each, 5 total shots. Both these teams are canceling each other out a little bit.
Johnston.
Both teams quite happy to give up possession in that final third, and then they just soak it up until somebody makes a mistake like that. Try and go the other way quickly.
Matt Van Oekel, with the exception of the early nervy moments, has been a spectator for large portions of this first half. Pino is clattered down to the deck.
Ended up giving Keegan Tingy a shot on target back in the 20th minute. That foul here. Too much contact from Learman. Back of Pino.
Still waiting for both number 9s to grow into this. Pino, the leading scorer for Birmingham. Ryan, the leading scorer for Loudoun in the top 10 in the USL Championship in goals. Neither of them have really gotten optimal service so far.
It's been a good defensive battle. Taking the crowd out of this game a little bit though, Sam, as well. Hasn't been a ton to get excited about. And all just took the breath out of them and it hasn't really come back.
And hard to do, given that everyone in attendance understands the stakes at play tonight. You don't get many more of these six-pointers left, Ross.
Yeah, just, the season seems to come to a close rather quickly. You think, oh, I've got a dozen games left, and then suddenly it's 6.
Like it. Still looking to grow into this, as is the entire Loudoun front line.
There's been a sort of spate of these ticky-tacky fouls as well. They've slowed the pace of this game down. Some tactical fouling these days is part of the game for sure.
Rapidly approach the business end of this first half. Still awaiting our first clear-cut chance from Loudoun. Leggett, it's a low cross, which falls to Enzo Martinez. That's been the story tonight, the final ball letting Loudoun down to this point.
.3% of the action in the middle third at the moment. Tells you how little either team has had possession in that final third. As I mentioned earlier, there has been some chaos when there has been possession in there. There's a good chance here. Headed away. Derek Dodson. We haven't seen him get much up and down that right-hand side yet tonight.
One of the better attacking fullbacks in this league. Someone with plenty of experience despite being on loan from Minnesota United. Part of that Charleston side that made the run to the USL Championship final a year ago. Johnston linking well with Ryan.
See Birmingham getting 10 players behind the ball. Just shutting up shop.
Cross comes in from Awuwa. It found Ryan's head. Couldn't keep the header down though.
Seems surprised to get got to him. Zach Ryan. Derek Dodson on that right side. His wing-back system designed to force those fullbacks in the four-back system to stay back. You don't have to worry about those extra players coming down the wings. This is exactly what's happened tonight with Dodson. We saw Metzer getting forward a little bit earlier. It's not as much since that collision.
Here's your look at Matt Van Oekel, year 18 as a professional. He is the 15th oldest recorded player to ever play in the USL Championship. He's certainly up there in terms of oldest active players as well.
Henry just took a shot in the face.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. 2 men down after that coming together, and it appears the Frenchman Yannis Learman's gotten the worst of it.
He's talking about where he actually is and not something else. He seems to be okay. Oh, yeah, looks like caught an elbow from Pino, and then Pino caught on the way down.
3 minutes of stoppage time added to the first half. 3 minutes. Brought to you by...
Hearing word it is 3 minutes of added time separating us from intermission.
Approaching halftime. The other games around the USL Championship. You mentioned Detroit. Sam 1-0. Lead over New Mexico. Also importantly, Indy 11 with a 1-0 lead close to halftime against El Paso. Both these teams looking for at least a loss, if not a draw in that game.
Especially Birmingham when it comes for jockeying for seeding for that top 4 chase. Learman seems all right to continue, which is a welcome sight for all involved. Native of Trom, France. He's made his way over to the States. Stoppage time tonight presented by Novec. Novec's energy-saving tips are a real game changer. As things stand, it appears the first half will creep to an inauspicious close for Loudoun United. Very little of note going forward. Here's Velo. Dangerous ball. It finds Zach Ryan and ran out of real estate on the far side. He had a runner.
King Tinky was in acres of space in the right channel. Unfortunately, Zach Ryan only had one thing on his mind, and that was finding the shot. Unfortunately, wasn't the best option.
Promising burst late in the half for Loudoun, and that's the pace you were looking for on those counters.
Yeah, for sure, the ball was there quickly. And Ryan Martin's certainly going to have some things to talk about here at the half. So figure a way to unlock this low block that Birmingham's employed tonight on the road.
Final minute of this first half. Still a 1-0 advantage for Birmingham Legion in a battle that could redefine how the Eastern Conference table looks come the end of the night. This is Tingy racing forward. Below. His 3rd USL Championship season.
Plenty of good stuff was going through Tingy early in this half. So that's where Ryan Martin has to look to the width. Here we go, this is better.
They do exactly that. This is Tingy. Forced to the byline. It's driven along. And the foul committed by the forward for Loudoun. Overzealous from Zach Ryan.
It's just a little bit of frustration from Zach Ryan. He was looking for some help coming diagonally, but didn't see it.
Appears that's where we may leave things at the end of 45 minutes. It's all up to the referee's discretion. And there is the halftime whistle. Well, a cagey first half, but one moment of brilliance from a center back of all people, Alex Croniale making the difference. Ross, your impressions of that opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, both teams have plenty still to play for here in the second half. Now just going to try to figure out a way to unlock this stubborn visiting defense.
That's where things stand after a half of action. A first half where chances were at a premium, but Birmingham holds the early 1-0 advantage in this pivotal 6-pointer in the Eastern Conference. Ryan Martinside with work to do. We'll step aside when we return the halftime show on ESPN+.
You thought you knew Cuomo.
See the game, my friends. Expose the game.
The real Chris just might surprise you.
So you can change the game.
Surprising.
The agenda is you.
Free thinking.
News Nation is the only news organization whose name is reflective of you.
Game changing.
America is News Nation.
Cuomo, weeknights at 8/7 Central, only on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. News for all America.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
DC News Now is worth watching.
Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 10.
Super serving the DMV.
Reporting in Northern Virginia.
Levin Bowie.
In Upper Marlboro.
Forecasting each region of the DMV.
Region by region.
Responsive and ready for breaking news no matter the location.
To show you exactly how all of this went down.
We get there faster.
Reporting in Greenbelt, Maryland.
We cover more ground.
From Hagerstown.
Super serving the DMV. Watch DC News Now tonight at 10 on DCW 50. It's worth watching.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
We welcome you back to Segra Field, where at halftime, Birmingham Legion holds a 1-0 advantage over Loudoun United. A standout moment from Alex Croniale making the difference between these two sides. Well, we've spoken about the implications of this match pretty much at length, and for Loudoun, a lot of pivotal matches in their final 7 games. 5 of their final 7 on the road. That one against Birmingham at home, or Pittsburgh at home, excuse me, is a standout.
Yeah, the remaining schedule is part of why they really need to get 3 points tonight at New Mexico. Obviously, sitting atop the Western Conference, but focused on that Pittsburgh game. They're currently sitting 8th ahead of them, 2 points at the moment coming into this. Actually, has the live standing, so yeah, big one there. Against the Riverhounds, who started to play again.
On the other side, for Birmingham, a team that also has a slate of very competitive matches. The one against Indy 11. Indy was 5th, Birmingham was 5th, Indy was 6th entering today. That could be a pivotal match for the top 4.
Yeah, both teams, especially now with the lead at the break in this one. Riverhounds, we just mentioned them with Loudoun, a trip up to Pittsburgh for them. And listen, that's no easy place to play there against the team finally getting it going, as we said.
Both teams with a pivotal set of fixtures on the docket after this one. But there's a small matter of a final 45 minutes to attend to. At halftime, 1-0 in favor of Legion. We'll step aside when we return the remainder of our standout moments from that first half.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Ingram. Goodrum pounds this ball, and the boys in purple soaring.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
Does anyone feel like life can be really messy? I know I do. There is something shady going on. There's a million ways to cheat, and everybody lives on their phone. I found a screenshot of this woman. Let's be real. The game has changed.
I cheated, you cheated. So what?
I'm here to help make sense of it all, because trust, I've been through it all. And I'm not afraid to get into your mess. You are not winning in life. Let that sink in. So let's get into it.
Karamo, weekdays at 3 on DCW 50.
Back here from Leesburg, Virginia, where at halftime, Birmingham Legion holds a 1-0 advantage over Loudoun United in a match that could redefine how the East Table looks come the end of the night. Well, it's been a busy slate across the USL Championship. Let's take a look at some of the standout news and notes from around the league. And how about Nick Marcanic, a man who equaled the league's single-season goals record with his 25th against Sacramento last week, someone who has led a Charleston team with the championship on its mind. Meanwhile, Louisville City becoming the first team to clinch a playoff spot in the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. A fair few other sides with the potential to clinch tonight as well. And Pittsburgh, an unbeaten run of 10 matches, pulling them into the playoff hunt, right now occupying the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Well, throughout the league, so many games in action. We've touched on that Detroit result. How about that, partner? Right now, New Mexico, their clinch quest becomes more complex.
Yeah, Detroit can certainly use three points if they want to stay in the running for a home quarterfinal. Indy 11 looking to end their 4-game winless streak with a 1-0 lead over El Paso. I'm sure many people have expected that. And tons of eyes on that Tampa Bay-Pittsburgh game. Plenty of ramifications in that one. Other ones going on later tonight as well.
A pair of matches that could be intriguing. Switchbacks in Charleston locking horns. Now, to the next page of fixtures here as we get later into the evening. New City, the only team that's clinched. And then how about this? Sacramento Republic and Phoenix locking horns in what really could shake up the West.
Always a great rivalry matchup then. I'll be bringing you that Orange County Rhode Island one. Rhode Island had a nice draw, a win at Monterey Bay. There was a draw at Monterey Bay, and they've won at Vegas this season already on the road out west. So perhaps another 3 points tonight for them as they continue to climb up the standings.
The Rhode Island side currently sitting 7th in the East, just inside the playoff hunt. And speaking of those standings, how about that? We mentioned how pivotal this clash was. Loudoun currently sitting 2 points outside the playoff chase, with Pittsburgh currently drawing. Meanwhile, if you're Birmingham, you stay in 5th, but if you drop points here, things get more complex.
Yeah, keep an eye on Detroit City. Only 2 points now behind Tampa Bay, are on the struggle bus a little bit. Detroit City can get into that 3rd spot and avoid Louisville or Charleston until the semifinals would be huge.
When you flip the page to the Western Conference, it's also a very intriguing chase. New Mexico, again, they are 10 points clear atop the table, but currently losing at the moment. And then as you creep closer to the playoff line, you mentioned Orange County in action tonight. They need a result to get back in playoff contention.
Yeah, as always, complete chaos in the West. Plenty of teams still in with a chance of sneaking above that playoff line as well. You wouldn't, listen, San Antonio, been so good over the years, you wouldn't put it past them to get up there as well at some point here down the stretch.
That's where things sit in both conferences at the closing stages of the USL Championship season. Well, right here at halftime, a 1-0 advantage for Birmingham after 45 minutes. When we return, we'll take a look back at the standout moments from that first half.
Is worth watching.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on DC News Now.
Wake up with the team super serving the DMV.
If you want to get a head start out there before you head out the door this morning.
Keeping you in the know as you start your day.
Live here in Bowie, live in Dulles.
With weather and traffic that won't keep you guessing.
In DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Wake up with a team focusing on all the communities in the DMV. Watch DC News Now. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9. It's worth watching.
Rising up like lightning.
Get tickets for our next match and info on special events at LoudounUnitedFC.com.
Weather for all the DMV. Your weather experts. You're watching DC News Now.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro. Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
Back here in Leesburg, where at halftime, Birmingham Legion holds a 1-0 advantage over Loudoun United in a battle around the playoff line tonight. A first half that lacked a good number of opportunities, but Birmingham took the only chance of the match, and they lead at the break.
Yeah, an audacious attempt here. Alex Green looked up, looking left, looking right, went straight down the center and over the head of Hugo Farou. I'm going to say he meant it. I'm going with it.
I think I agree with you, partner. That was an incredible strike from Alex Croniale from 55 yards. From there, Loudoun was playing catch-up, and despite a couple of half chances, it never felt like they created anything decisive.
Yeah, both teams did really struggle in that final third to create a ton of opportunities. Still 45 minutes to go in this one. Things, of course, we've seen games completely change after the break.
They had a couple of half chances. This is one of them, one that pinged to Keegan Tingy. Couldn't quite put it properly on goal, though.
In that first half, a lot of good things came through. Keegan Tingy had a good chance there, just couldn't get enough power in it to put it past Van Oekel.
And then this cross that came in. Zach Ryan was involved, but he never properly carved out the required space in the area.
Birmingham just getting tons of players behind the ball, every opportunity, and making life difficult for the Loudoun striker.
It was Tommy McCabe clattering it over the bar, perhaps Loudoun's best chance of the opening 45 minutes. When you look at the halftime stats, Loudoun bossing possession. They also have a shots edge, but the fact of the matter is Birmingham only has the real standout shot on goal that matters.
Yeah, listen, we know about the stat of possession, right? It's only good if you could do good things with it. They haven't done enough in that final third. They haven't created enough quality chances with that 64%.
That's where things sit after 45 minutes. We are just about set for the start of the second half in what could prove, Ross, to be a pivotal half for Loudoun's season. We've mentioned they entered tonight a point below the playoff line. That gap has widened a touch, with Pittsburgh currently drawing at the moment. If they drop points at home, things get particularly difficult with 5 of their final 7 coming on the road.
There's a crazy stat we didn't see on the stat sheet. We just saw touches inside the opposition's box in the first half. Loudoun 17, Birmingham 1. And it wasn't the goal, as we all know.
But yet Birmingham has the lone goal, and it came from well outside the box.
It's just sometimes how this sport goes. Loudoun can get things sorted here in the second half. I'll let you know of any changes.
Hearing word Birmingham has made one change. It is Prosper Kasim entering for Tyler Pasher. So Pasher, who returned earlier this week, subbed off at halftime for the second consecutive match. And who better than the man who bleeds Birmingham in Kasim?
Pasher not quite fit to go 90 tonight. Running around quite a bit, coming in off that right wing. First half, not able to go here in the second. Perhaps just a tactical change from Thompson.
It is like for like. Kasim, an experienced player who's been with Birmingham since its inaugural season. We are back underway from Leesburg. Loudoun now going from right to left on your screen. Birmingham going from left to right. Alongside Ross Davenport, Sam Goldfarb here, bringing you all of the action tonight. A battle around the playoff line. As things stand, Birmingham has consolidated its spot in the top 8. And remember, this is a Birmingham side that has never missed the postseason in its previous 5 seasons of history. This is a side that's been a mainstay in Eastern Conference contention. Now, they've never gotten over the hump and reached the Eastern Conference Finals, but it is a side that's always been a distant dark horse when you head into the postseason time.
It's a team you don't really want to see in the postseason. You're not sure what to expect. Good start here to the half, though, for Loudoun. Mention Cleo Mekdar on the bench for Ryan Martin, but also Drew Skundrich. Perhaps an option we may see off the bench. His experience could be key in the second half.
This is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Tommy McCabe. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. Set piece may be just what the doctor ordered for Loudoun. They struggled to create in the final third. We'll see if they can conjure something magical here. It will be McCabe with outswing. Floated towards the back stick. It's headed along. Stabbed out of danger only as far as Johnston. Picks out Keegan Hughes. Martinez, he was upended. And the whistle finally sounds as the referee played advantage.
Florian Velo with sending a message there to Enzo Martinez. Early professional foul here in the second half, which he was certainly into the book for. Enzo's got to be careful, no retaliation here. They already got a yellow on his name tonight. Let's not look at it here. Excuse me, that wasn't Velo, was it?
Erlinson.
Erlinson coming back.
Second Loudoun man to be booked tonight. Well, Ross, coming back to the change, Prosper Kasim, a native of Accra, Ghana, who's in his 6th consecutive year with Birmingham. He scored some big goals in his time with Legion. Not necessarily known as a consistent goal scorer, but always a top chance creator and creative danger man for this Legion side.
Just give a different look on that right side, some fresher legs. We'll see if he gets involved as much centrally as Pasher did.
It was a pedestrian first half by Pasher's lofty standards, especially considering how he performed the last time these 2 teams met. 74th minute winner in a come-from-behind 3-1 victory in Birmingham. It's been 5 wins in the previous 7 meetings for Legion. Cross comes to the back post, claimed authoritatively by Faroux. This is Velo, still trying to exert his influence on this. It's a clever ball forward towards Leggett. And still Leggett, clattering it off the defender in Patterson. Now ushered clear to Kasim.
Birmingham have done such a great job of just getting themselves between the ball and the goal tonight every time. We'll get to that in a second.
Martinez flashing it to the back post. Now laid off. Nwegbo.
So every time Loudoun seems to get just a half yard of space, there's a black shirted player between them and the goal.
Kasim, his first proper touch of the night. Well, if you're just joining us, we welcome you into Leesburg, Virginia, Segra Fields. As things stand, Birmingham the upper hand by a razor-thin margin. A match that has featured very few touches in the opposing penalty area for either side. There's Martinez. It's one back by Awuwa.
Some news that please Loudoun fans. North Carolina down to 10 men in the first 5 minutes of their game. At Memphis, currently tied on points with Loudoun, 34, just below the playoff line.
It's Leggett who is charged to the deck.
Contact there from behind. Surprised the car didn't emerge on that one. I mean, he got the ball.
Given the threshold the referee has set.
Yeah. All you want from a referee is some consistency. Perhaps was the first moment. Didn't see it tonight.
It's one back by Ryan. Tingy, the danger man in that first half for Loudoun. This is Johnston. Below in space. Continuing to move this defense around, but it is a thicket of black kits in the penalty area, as per usual. This is Erlinson. McCabe. Right now it seems Loudoun just hesitant to pick out a cross. Story of the night.
To see a little more diagonal movement from those front players. Too easy to defend at the moment. Side to side and up and down diagonal. Those defenders think about who to cover. It's better.
Rua floating it towards goal. Van Oekel is off his line to claim confidently. Cleaning up what looked to be an awkward situation at the back. Spoke to Ryan Martin this week, and he mentioned how once his team progressed to the final third, there was a lack of decisive movement. We'll see if they can produce that here. Appears it won't be the case for the time being, but when Loudoun has approached the final third, they haven't kept clean enough first touches, moved it around swiftly. It's been a similar bugaboo that has bothered them tonight. Now Birmingham breaking the other way. Kasim's at the back post. Cleared away by Erlinson.
Key interception there by Erlinson. Kasim is lining up at the back post to smash that one home. So made sure it didn't reach him. Good tracking back by the centre back.
Long throw potential here for Birmingham. They opt for short. Hernandez Foster. It's one back by Martinez. Laying it off now. It falls for Kasim. Took a deflection out of play. And Birmingham will have to settle for a corner for the time being.
This time it Keegan Hughes with the key touch, but prospect Kasim quite caught this one cleanly enough. Just a bit pressure by Enzo Martinez. Down. I think he would have had that covered. Quite enough pace on it from Kasim to trouble the Frenchman.
There is a chance, though, for Birmingham to wreak havoc on this set piece. It is Kobe Hernandez Foster, the 22-year-old who's made himself a regular in that holding midfield spot for Birmingham all year long. Scored last week. Wednesday, I should say. Hooks this out-swinging ball. Falls for Velo. Doesn't quite clear it decisively. Here he is again.
Out of switch wingbacks now. Keegan Tingley now on the left.
Progressive ball forward. Ryan is through. Van Oekel closing down the angle masterfully. Below, winning it back. Tingy. Chance isn't quite lost yet for Loudoun.
Zach Ryan really should have taken that shot first time. Striker with less confidence than perhaps he's used to.
A goal drought that persists for the time being. Velo. Tingy. Darting down the near side. It's a dangerous cross. And that is popped up only as far as Johnston. Best bout of Loudoun pressure tonight. Finally, one back by Nwegbo. Well, Ross, what a chance this was for Zach Ryan to level things.
It's a lovely ball through by Velo in the channel. Hit it there, Zach Ryan. Now instead try to go with the right foot, chip it over. The advancing Van Oekel, but by that point, the veteran goalkeeper had come out far enough, made himself big. That's a good stop as well.
They're knocking on the door, though. Fans, eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. We are beyond the 55-minute threshold here at Segra Fields. Loudoun knocking on the door, but still trailing. Below looks long for Leggett, chipping the goalkeeper, and didn't get enough on it. It falls for Ryan. Laying it off for Johnston, and there's the equalizer. Loudoun pulling a goal back, and the goal drought comes to an emphatic close.
Isaiah Johnston making only his 4th start of the season, getting himself on the board. Good work by Zach Ryan. Below started it all again. Leggett thought this one might have ended up in the back of the net. Kept at it. Zach Ryan here, he could have shot himself, but looked up, saw Johnston. That's a lovely first-time strike by the Canadian.
A Loudoun side that felt like it potentially would never unlock this back line. It has done so at a crucial moment, and Johnston capitalizing on the chaos.
You can see it from the action, especially the subs coming in there, what this goal means. What it could mean for the rest of this game as well.
Fans, the goal was scored by Isaiah Johnston, presented by Hanley Energy management for a digital age. Just like that, all knotted up at 1-1. The 22-year-old Isaiah Johnston, his first goal of the season in just his 4th start of the year. A man who made his trade with Huntsville City and MLS Next Pro in the past, coming up with a crucial finish. Also, fans, that was one of our first shots on goal. Tonight's shots are brought to you by Smoothie King in the DMV. Try the new Dude Perfect smoothie at Smoothie King, packed with real fruit, vanilla protein, kiwi apple juice, frozen yogurt, Bruce Brunilla, and turbinado, as Leggett is charging through on goal and looking for support, narrowly missing the far post. Well, get your smoothie now, only at Smoothie King. Get another look at this chance from Wesley Leggett.
Yeah, below now, really taking control of this game. That's a lovely ball to Leggett. Cut it back. He looked at, perhaps he had some options elsewhere and tried to go inside that far post. Just didn't quite get enough around the ball to curl it in.
Well, if you are just flipping the page, Loudoun finally bringing their prolonged goal drought to a close. Isaiah Johnston, the beneficiary at the end of a chaotic sequence in which Van Oekel was drawn out of goal. What a pivotal moment. A crucial capitalization from this Loudoun side that was really struggling to break Birmingham down.
Yeah, the way this game had gone, you kind of had a feeling that if Loudoun did score, it was going to be of the scrappy variety. Finally turning some pressure into a goal. Now continuing to turn the screw here.
They've got the wind in their sails now. Leggett. Well, you see the smoke continuing to filter throughout the venue. Stadium has been reignited by that strike. And you can't say it's fully undeserved. When you looked at the numbers, Birmingham was struggling to break Loudoun down as well, and it was an outlier moment which led to the opener. Now, it was an incredibly impressive outlier moment at that.
Certainly, I think a draw at the moment would be a fair result. There's still plenty of time to go here, half an hour. For somebody to pull 3 points out the hat. Big goals going in elsewhere as well. We'll get to those perhaps a little later as those games get closer to finishing.
Fans, USL Championship soccer continues on the ESPN networks in September with a matchup of top teams from the Eastern Conference. Detroit City FC takes on Players Shield leader Louisville City in a Sunday afternoon clash, September 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Well, before we can get there, we've got an intriguing final 30 minutes to settle. Loudoun leveling. Now they find themselves pushing forward for a potential go-ahead tally. Sam Goldfarb and Ross Davenport bringing you all of the action tonight. It has livened up a considerable bit since the restart.
Yeah, the crowd right back into this game now, as you would expect. push their team towards a second.
Wua.
The left side again for the time being.
You mentioned Loudoun flopping flanks for a bit. What did you think went into that calculus?
Ryan Martin's a smart man. I'm not going to try and look inside his head, but sometimes good just looking, give the fullbacks a different look.
Erlinson is charging forward. Now Ryan is through. It's still loose for Leggett. A double save for Van Oekel, and a crucial one at that.
Oekel coming up big again. You said, Sam. Not for the first time in these last 5 minutes either.
He has weathered that storm they have thrown his way, because it's been an onslaught since the equalizer. Which, mind you, only occurred 4 minutes ago, but it's felt like a lot longer given the number of shots that have come his way since. Leggett, a number of opportunities. Awua floating ahead. And he's certainly making a menace of himself now. Yellow card brandished, this time to Dawson McCartney. Both center midfielders in the book for Birmingham.
McCartney disagreeing with the decision, but Awua was on one of those runs. It was going to take the foul to bring him down. Stuck that leg in there, McCartney. Stopping a promising attack, and by the book, that's a yellow card. So this is his first foul, but by the book. I'm in the process of learning to be a referee, Sam, and if you stop a promising attack with a tackle or a foul like that, it's got to be a yellow card. That's exactly what that was.
Your studying of the books has paid off.
It has. Still got some more to do tomorrow, my on-field test next week. Don't expect me to see out there in the USL games anytime soon by any means. But
USL expert and aspiring official, Ross Davenport. It's a quick break here for Birmingham. This is Nwegbo, who's been involved in the build-up tonight for Legion. Martinez, championship veteran, floating it to Nwegbo. It's still loose, has a crack, and trickles it over the line. Against the grain, Birmingham ahead. And it's Diba Nwegbo giving Birmingham the lead once again.
Just in the end, just a bit of poor defending from Loudoun. It was a lovely chip through here by Enzo Martinez. Two Loudoun defenders just kind of looked at each other and got out of each other's way. It was Tingy and Erlinson, and in the end, that allowed Nwegbo to stick his right foot in there and hook it round. Hugo Farou, wow. What a counter punch by the visitors. This game really opening up now, so.
A Birmingham side with no foothold since the restart, but Diba Nwegbo against the grain, putting them back in front with his first goal of the season. Man, in his second year with Legion after graduating from William & Mary and impressing there. And what a crucial time to pop up with your first goal.
Massive. And sometimes you just got to get that ball in the box and cause some havoc, cause some confusion between the defenders. That's exactly what happened there. Nwegbo took full advantage.
Look at the anatomy of Birmingham's 2 goals tonight.
Listen, Sam, sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the ball in the back of the net. They all count the same.
Below to the byline and winning his side of corner. Well, fans, this is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. It will be McCabe to take. A Loudoun side that had just pulled themselves level, and now they are in need of a second equalizer to salvage something. Buckle up for a lively final 25. With in-swing here, it's headed down and right into Van Oekel's gloves. It looks like Hughes got the final touch.
Good corner to the back post. Keegan Hughes was right there looking for the nod down. Just couldn't get enough on it. Knock it past Van Oekel. This game's getting fun now, Sam, after that quiet first half.
Here's the most recent goal scorer, Nwegbo. To the byline, dangerous cross. This is stabbed away by Erlinson. and it appears it might be Nwegbo's final involvement because he will be subbing off. It's 2 changes for Birmingham. Rita Zuhir is entering the action, a man who lit up the USL Championship a season ago with San Antonio FC, and Preston Tabor Ataka also entering the action. So those are your 2 changes. Birmingham's second and third alterations of the night. And Nwegbo exiting to deserved applause as Pino also vacates.
Some fresh legs here. Thompson perhaps smelling some blood in the water.
Now entering the match, number 16, Rita
played midweek, so changes a little earlier than he would have liked. So tired legs out there. Chasing around Rowdy's players in the box all night. 19 of those 20 shots in the box.
That was another match in which they got comfortably outshot, but still managed to preserve a clean sheet. Here tonight, the clean sheet won't come, but as things stand, it's 3 points all the same. But a pair of new entries for Birmingham looking to spice things up. Rita Zuhir is a very interesting prospect on loan from CF Montreal in Canada, the MLS, of course. Someone who has been with Montreal his entire professional career after ascending through the youth ranks there, but was loaned out to San Antonio a year ago and lit up the championship. He was loaned back to the championship with Legion on August 7th. This is just his 5th appearance of the year with Birmingham. On the other side of things, the USL Championship veteran Preston Tabor Ataka also entering the action. He is always a dangerous winger, someone who has played at a number of destinations in his time. Well, you mentioned it opening up. He should be in line for a wild final 20 if that trend continues. Leggett, growing in influence. McCabe. Ushered wide. Learman. McCabe again. Looking for Ryan. Flag stays down. Ryan finds another equalizer. The talisman up front for Loudoun with a crucial finish.
Lovely ball, a lovely run, and a composed finish. That line for Birmingham just caught napping for the first time tonight, really. Letting Ryan get goal side of them. Waiting for that ball to bounce onto the half volley. Beats the advancing Van Oekel to tie things up once again.
Loudoun in double figures with his 10th goal of the season. The Chatham Borough, New Jersey native with a huge finish. And that's what he does best.
Just play on the back shoulder of those center backs. All you need is that one opportunity. We've got the finishing ability of Zach Ryan. Frustrating first half, but he stuck with it and found the board. A crucial goal that could turn out to be.
Fans, the goal was scored by Zach Ryan, presented by Hanley Energy Management for a digital age. And as we hit the 70-minute mark, all even at 2 apiece. Zach Ryan, a man who lit up the score sheet at Stanford before beginning his pro career with his boyhood club, New York Red Bulls. He joined Loudoun last year and turned into a proven goal scorer with 10 goals. He has now matched that tally here in 2024.
Still 6 games to go to beat last year's tally of 10. There's certainly good money on him doing so. There was so much on the line in those last 6 games.
We mentioned Loudoun cannot afford to come up empty-handed tonight. That equalizer, crucial, and it puts Loudoun in a potential to charge back into this. Loudoun now readying 2 changes. It appears they may chase this one. Martinez. And ushered wide. Loose touch from Kasim. Well, we've hit the 70-minute mark. And as we approach the closing stages of this one, it is still all to play for. Yale escorts it wide. McCartney's cross, claimed by Faroux. Ross, if you are Ryan Martin, it feels like a match you should chase.
No, for sure. And listen, the second half has really looked like a playoff match. With both these teams now finally going for it after such a chess match in the first half.
Owuwa is bombing ahead. Cuts it back. Space for Johnston. Already one goal to his name. He overcomplicated it a touch.
Some tired legs there from Isaiah Johnson. Just couldn't get it out from under his feet.
It's one back, though, by Erlinson, and this is Velo. There are white shirts in support. Owuwa enjoying a much more influential second half. Johnston, hook on this, towards Leggett. Didn't get the contact required on it.
Ball by Johnson, who's been the worst here the last couple of days. You can see him hurting. Leggett just got a touch on that, could have got either side of Van Ogle. Continued the chaos that the second half has provided.
It's gone from chess match to end-to-end attraction.
Pickable. One side to the other. Lots of action.
Being a Northeast kid, you would have thought I'd play pickleball. Never gotten to it. Are we adding that to your CV of impressive accomplishments?
Can you officiate pickleball? That's about as close as I want to get to that. Just has pulled muscles written all over it.
Agreed. And look for Velo, his header routinely into the gloves of Van Ogle. So hearing word, Loudoun is readying a double change. One will be for Keegan Hughes, Dambrot entering. Now it'll be triple change, so they're readying a third. Also, Skundrich is getting set to make his return from a 7-match absence.
He's the big one, Drew Skundrich. This experience, we know what he brings to this team. Expected to be the engine of that midfield, just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Someone who was more of a wingback for Colorado Springs switchbacks, but has drawn mass appeal with his versatility. By the way, Tommy Williamson is also getting ready to enter. He's warming up as we speak. Switch of the play now. Martinez on the underlap. Charged away, and I believe he ran out of real estate on the near side.
Fans, for your chance to meet the team and get autographs, head over to section 108.
Well, hearing word, it'll be the triple change for Loudoun, the aforementioned one. Isaiah Johnston, who you mentioned was running out of legs, is exiting the action to a deserved applause, as is Keegan Hughes. How about Johnston's goal, the equalizer to break a near 400-minute goal drought?
A good performance tonight by the youngster. There's the goal he scored. Great work by Leggett just to hang around there. Zach Ryan with the assist. He's adding the goal after that now. Great moment there for the young Canadian.
The first goal of the season for Johnston. He makes way after 70 minutes. It is Dambrot, Skundrich, and Williamson entering as we speak. Leggett was the man to vacate for Williamson up front. Well, they're chasing after it, especially with the introduction of a forward. Williamson, a man with 5 goals a year ago. Into the final quarter of an hour of this one. It has classic written all over it.
Certainly didn't at the break, but things have picked up immensely here in the second half. It's a lovely fun contest between two teams desperate for 3 points. Talk about some goals elsewhere, perhaps in the second. So that does here.
The low.
Let's talk about the important goals anyway. 11 now with a 2-0 lead over El Paso. Final 15 minutes there. Chance for Birmingham to break here.
It's launched ahead to Tabor Itaka. One of his first touches of the match since entering. And perhaps not his best.
First half goal by Jackson Walters, giving Pittsburgh a 1-0 lead over Tampa Bay. I mentioned North Carolina down to 10 men. They are also now down 2-0 to Memphis. The result there, that would be for Loudoun, especially if they can pick up 3 points here.
Well, mind you, the Pittsburgh result, if it holds, is crucial because that means Loudoun would need a win to keep pace. It's laid off from Williamson. And Tingy's cross deflected out of play. Fans watch the USL Championship in Spanish on Loudoun, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. We are inside the final quarter of an hour from Segra Fields, all square at 2 goals apiece. A pair of Loudoun equalizers in this second half have them in position to at least claim a point. Although it is clear Ryan Martin has more than just 1 point on his mind with the changes he has made, Ross.
Yeah, it's like positional change at the back here too. Erlinson slipping into the center back spot. Dan Brock to left center back.
It's allowed inside that, as we mentioned off the top, 1 win against Birmingham in its history. That came last year at Segra Field. This is loose, it falls, and into the back of the net! Loudoun has flipped it on its head. It's the substitute, Tommy Williamson. Loudoun 3, Birmingham 2.
There's Birmingham tired legs showing perhaps from that midweek match. A lovely ball here by Erlinson. I saw Williamson making the run. I was wondering if Zach Ryan would see him. I'm not sure if Zach Ryan got the final touch. Derek Dodson, didn't matter. Williamson timed his run perfectly, and a superb finish for the sub, making his impact felt immediately.
A second goal of the year for Tommy Williamson, someone who has bounced in and out of the squad all year long. Missed 2 months with an injury, but back in the side of late, and a crucial goal for Loudoun in the playoff chase. Fans, the goal was scored by Tommy Williamson, presented by Hanley Energy. Energy management for a digital age. And how about this? After 3 games without a goal, Loudoun United has hit Birmingham with a trifecta here.
Like buses, Sam. You're waiting for one of them to come along, and then suddenly all come along at once.
Birmingham now making a change. Corcoran entering the match for Hernandez Foster.
Teenager Corcoran. Sometime USL League One. MLS next pro with North Texas. Ginger's talent. Getting a chance here. Trying to find some points for his team on the road in these last 10 minutes.
Ross, Tommy Williamson was a man who impressed during his time at California. That earned him a very high draft evaluation in 2021. It was picked 12th overall in the 2021 draft by San Jose. Has since made his way to the championship and comes up with a huge goal as this header finds its way routinely to Hugo Farou. But what a time for just your second goal of the season for Williamson.
As a Chelsea fan, you know what weight comes with a number 9 on your back. Tommy Williamson coming off the bench and earning that number now tonight for sure. Loudoun again.
It's one back now by Ryan. Still loose. Skundrich is unable to rescue it. Perhaps numbers for Birmingham on the break. We are now in the final 10 minutes. Loudoun continuing to surge ahead. Tingy now outwit his defender, and that's out for a Loudoun United corner kick.
Good work by Tingy. Birmingham fans and players wanted a foul. Didn't There's a lot of contact down there.
Fans, this is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. We're getting a lot of IBEW corner kicks and a lot of Hanley Energy goals tonight, and that is not what we expected at halftime.
No, for sure. Things have completely turned around. That's just how this game goes. Teams being a little braver coming into the second half and resulting in tons of goals. Let's see if we got any more in them.
It's McCabe to take. He's been the primary man tonight, without swing, towards Erlinson at the back post, who lashed at it and couldn't quite keep it from knuckling.
Your all-access pass to the latest forecast from Janessa Webb, Jackie Layer, Damon Matson, Scott Sumner, and Brittany Ward. All across the DMV. DC News Now weather.
Well, we are back here from Segra Field, where Loudoun United has flipped the match on its head. They have overcome two separate one-goal deficits, and as things stand, Tommy Williamson's 78th minute strike is what makes the difference. Alongside Ross Davenport, Sam Goldfarb here, bringing you all of the action tonight. And remember, entering tonight, Loudoun United was just a point off postseason pace. This felt like a must-win. As things stand, they have flashed their resilience at a crucial juncture of their season, and they find themselves in position to secure all three tonight. Still plenty of time left to weather, though.
Yeah, Birmingham's certainly going to try and push some numbers forward here. Williamson goes down. Claims for a foul, mostly from the crowd.
It's Zahir.
You see Loudoun now dropping a little deeper into that low block. It's Birmingham, they're going to have to try and break down the team with the lead. They deservedly lead the lead. 15 shots tonight for Loudoun. Only 5 for Birmingham. Obviously, one of those came on that audacious first goal.
Fans, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com for the entire USL TV listings. We've got a good old-fashioned USL barn burner tonight, Ross.
A ding-dong battle back and forth here between these two. Kind of what we hoped we would get going into this game. We certainly didn't get it in the first half. The second half has been, and still time here. Birmingham perhaps to find an equalizer, allow them to extend their lead and clinch those 3 points.
You mentioned it had
a big part of it in the second half to fall below.
You mentioned it had the aura of a playoff match. It's definitely felt that way in the second half.
Yeah, especially now the crowd's back into it.
Ryan. Snatched back by Kassim. This is McCartney. Martinez. We have not seen much of him in the second half. Wua loses out. Tabor Itaka. Just to outwit Dan Brott, who puts a boot in the mix.
Yeah, great bit of shoulder-to-shoulder action there. Don't see that too often. Old school shoulder-to-shoulder contact. Another sub for Loudoun.
Well, that appears to be the end of Zach Ryan's day. His crucial equalizer kick-starting the comeback, and he put forth a very valuable shift, Ross.
Yeah, it was a frustrating first half. Zach Ryan just finding so many black jersey players between him and the goal, but he would have the assist and then trademark Zach Ryan goal, getting behind the defense and a composed low finish. His 10th goal of the season.
A crucial finish for the former Stanford man, and he's replaced by a veteran of the USL Championship, Cristiano Francois, who was brought in this year, one of the many veterans to join the side here in 2024. Here's the cross to the back post from Birmingham. Fell briefly. Birmingham continuing to surge ahead. From long range, clattering off of Tommy McCabe's back. Tingy is able to salvage a throw. Quick break forward. It's cut back towards Tabor Itaka. Low driver and narrowly whistling beyond the near post. Dawson McCartney in a promising position there.
The ball fell nicely to him. You see Enzo Martinez getting a little frustrated. Ball didn't quite fall there, but then McCartney in the right place at the right time. That ball wasn't far past Hugo Fru's right-hand post.
Stark reminder, the job's not finished yet for Loudoun.
Hugo Fru certainly feeling a lot better than he was in the first half, thanks to his teammates. Excellent second half performance, bailing him out from that early goal. I think again, I think he wasn't particularly at fault. He was in the right position. Just a beautiful strike by Kerniale.
It's hard to expect Emmanuel Cork from 55 yards. Perhaps too far off his line, though.
Yeah, I think, listen, those goals always get the reactions of keeper online when those highlights are posted, but he was in the right position, perhaps a little slow to react, but I wouldn't expect a centre-back to strike one from that far out. It seems so long ago now, so this game's completely changed since then.
We mentioned it repeatedly. At halftime, it was 1-0 Birmingham. Both teams had probably combined for an XG of 0.3.
Yes.
Since the restart, it's become a goal fest, and it feels like once that Loudoun equalizer slipped in, the match became an open end-to-end brawl. It's continued to live up to that reputation since. You said it best. It was a must-secure 3 points for both teams, but especially Loudoun.
Running out of home games. Some really tough road games coming down the stretch. We need to get 3 in the bank here tonight. Nearly there.
Francois looking for Velo, who just loses the foot race to Van Oekel. Inventive.
Just nice little chip ball through. Just half a step there. Must have definitely been 4-2.
Is there one final plot twist left to this tale?
I mentioned to you earlier, I did the Birmingham Tampa Bay Cup game earlier this year that was 4-0, 4-4, and 6-4, so I wouldn't put it past these guys.
Overcame a 4-0 deficit in the final 8 minutes of regulation and stoppage time. There's the long ball forward towards Francois. Van Oekel way off his line, and flashing the Techers, but now he has some running to do. Dashed ahead now, Dodson. Acres of space. Cross didn't quite have the accuracy required. Final minute of regulation. It appears there will be quite a few added on. Tingy, driven forward to Francois. He has Velo in support. It's Cristiano Francois, Velo heading it home. And that may just wrap it up for Loudoun. The veterans sealing the points in a crucial clash.
Yeah, Francois found the soft spot in that tired Legion defense. Looked up, saw the run of Velo, and what a ball it was. It's the kind of goals that attacking players dream of. Like the Velo would lay out, diving header. It's been a great night for him, especially in the second half, been much more involved. As a result, his team on its way to 3 massive points.
Fourth goal of the year from Florian Velo. The established USL Championship veteran a steady presence in the heart of midfield for Loudoun United, and he may have just put the match to bed here as we venture into stoppage time. Fan, the goal scored by Florian Velo, presented by Henley Energy. Energy management for a digital age. And there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time, so less than previously anticipated. Brought to you by Novec. Novec's energy-saving tips are a real game changer.
And we talked to Ryan Martin about Florian Velo this week. He mentioned he's a quiet leader, so great on the ball with his decision-making. He said it's important to bring guys in at his age into the system that fit the system. Guys like Velo don't want to be playing unexciting soccer, and Velo certainly fits into the system of Ryan Martin's beautifully, and he's shown it in the second half tonight.
We have mentioned the change in ownership and how that has increased flexibility for Loudoun. A pair of 30-plus-year-olds connecting on that goal. 2 players brought in this year to add experience to the side. And at a crucial late moment, they produce.
4 minutes. Brought to you by Novec. Novec's energy-saving tips are a real.
Well, a match that potentially threatened to have even later drama has seemingly been put on ice late.
Loudoun fans and players won't mind that. So we start thinking about that trip to New Mexico next weekend. 3 straight road games: New Mexico, Colorado Springs, and Hartford. 2 of the toughest places to play in the league, as we have an exit for the man who just found the back of the net, Florian Velo.
And a return for Riley Boudoir, the man who played in New Zealand's top flight a year ago, entering the action. Celebrations all around if you're Loudoun.
Yeah, something like a Ryan Martin's face. Say, thanks, mate. That's what we've been expecting from you. 3 points is going to be the result of the second half performance.
Mentioned that crucial upcoming schedule for Loudoun. A 6-pointer with Hartford jumps off the page. Hartford on the fringes of the playoff line. And then as you head to Birmingham, it is a home match with Miami that feels like must win. A Miami side that has struggled to compete. You're at home. There's no excuses about that one coming up.
Yeah, Hartford with a 3-0 lead at Miami late tonight. Starting to pick things up late.
4 unbeaten. Would be 5 by the end of tonight.
Peaking at the right time. So no easy matches in the USL Championship, especially down the stretch. Miami have shown at times that they can fight. The game was close until about the hour mark.
It's Miami and then away at Pittsburgh, which we spotlighted at halftime. That also will be a must-watch clash for fans around the playoff line. Birmingham had a chance to achieve separation. It seems that has been dashed tonight by a Loudoun side that put them to the sword in the second half. Final stages of added time. Awua. McCabe. Is there one final break forward for Loudoun? And there is the full-time whistle. A Loudoun side that flashes its resilience in a must-win match. They prevail in 4-2 fashion tonight, Ross.
Yeah, second half performance is impressive as the Ryan Martin get up tonight. 4 goals, but most importantly, 3 points.
That's where things end at the end of 90 minutes. Loudoun United prevailing in 4-2 fashion. We will step aside briefly when we return a look at the 90 minutes that just transpired here on ESPN+.
The season is right around the corner. It's 2 of the best teams in DC going head-to-head.
Unstoppable. The season is upon us, and tonight, the battle for bragging rights in the district.
It's one of the most exciting times in the year in sports.
Knifing through the middle, gets into the scores.
One team looking to make history.
Full slate of highlights and games on game night later tonight at 11 p.m.
Well, we welcome you back to Segra Field, where it finishes Loudoun 4, Birmingham 2. And it opened up with this wild 55-yard strike from Croniale.
Yeah. From a center back. Funny thing is AJ Patterson gets the assist on that goal. One of the easiest assists he'll ever get. You see the frustration if you go through, but he will be smiling in the end thanks to this second half performance.
And then from there, Loudoun beginning to turn up the pressure in the second half, finally finding the equalizer in the form of Isaiah Johnston.
Zach Ryan with the layoff after good work by Wesley Leggett, the hustle in the box. Zach Ryan had a frustrating first half, but you can see what this goal means to him. First goal in a long time.
And from there, though, Birmingham firing back against the grain. Diba Nwegbo putting Birmingham back in front.
Yeah, so Loudoun players got in each other's way, unfortunately. Nwegbo capitalized, looking it past Hugo Farouk. They were 2-1 lead, just approaching the hour mark, but the lead wouldn't last long.
It was the breakthrough from Zach Ryan on the back shoulder of the last defender, and this kick started the turnaround for Loudoun.
It certainly did. Had some work to do. Did Zach Ryan have to wait for that ball to bounce kindly for him? Composed finish, and then Loudoun put things away as the final 12 minutes here.
This time it was Ryan laying it off for Williamson, who got the final touch.
Ryan, I'm not sure if Ryan, I don't think he got the assist on this one because it was close whether him or the defender got the final touch. He'll claim it though, that's for sure, Sam.
And at the death, Francois linking up with Velo. That was what put it on ice.
Yeah, Velo capping off his impressive second half performance with a beautiful diving header.
And that's where things finished. A 4-2 victory for Loudoun United in dramatic fashion. And when you look at the numbers, you can't say it was undeserved for the hosts.
No, it took them a while to get going. I mentioned Legion playing that low block in that first half, really frustrating Loudoun. But once things opened up after the break, they really took advantage of it.
Well, that's where things finish. After 90 minutes of action, a Loudoun United side that needed 3 points, securing it at home. A 4-2 victory featuring a late turnaround for Loudoun to put themselves back in postseason consideration. A Birmingham side that must go back to the drawing board in the upcoming weeks. For my partner, Ross Davenport, I'm Sam Goldfarb, saying so long from Segra Field, where Loudoun prevails in dramatic fashion at home. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. We say so long from Leesburg.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.